Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the welcome to the mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Folks, we're going to start today off with a life hack from Twos. I don't know why everybody doesn't know this because it's just such an obvious thing. But when you get a wristband, one of these ones, now this is from, I had to wear this all week just for this bit right now. It's not even a bit, but you want to get it off and, oh, it's just, No. You turn it inside out and right where it tapes on,
you got to show the people, Twos. You got to show the people. You're holding. There you go. You're doing a life hack. Nobody can see
it. And then you just tear it off, and that's it. You just turn it inside out, and then you'll have a tab that you can just grab and pull it all off. Easy.
You know what I love? Twos' commitment award all week just for this. Right. Perfect. Great to see you too.
It was, yeah. Great to see you too. And that event was super fun and a first for me.
Did you? Before we get into it, Mashup 217. Good morning, folks. Glad to be back. I thought Twos did excellent without me, by the way. I mean, in fairness, all you need me for is the odd little thing where you get mad at me and then you carry on anyways. So, like, really, it kind of feels like the regular show for the most part. That's me.
Okay.
That's me chiming in. Okay. Now the event.
Yeah. So that was the Let Alberta Decide pancake breakfast. It was interesting, actually. One of the other things that stood out to me was there was a guy wearing a man purse looking around, didn't really seem to be enjoying himself and taking a few pictures here and there. And I'm like, that's a plant.
He was wearing a man purse.
I mean, I get the fact that you need it for your, I don't know, socialist gerbils or some damn thing. But if you're going to try and infiltrate an Alberta separatist movement, a man purse probably shouldn't be what you're wearing as an accessory.
I would
agree.
But
the cool thing that was the first thing that happened to me, or not the first thing that happened to me there, but this is the first time it's ever happened, is I saw somebody out in the world completely organically wearing a Mashup shirt.
Right on.
And it was Joe Mama.
Well, hello, Joe Mama. Welcome to the show today. Good morning, everyone. Mashup 217. I'm coming in live from Minnesota today. We're at the lake, Mel's family cabin, and the kids have been fishing nonstop since we arrived last night. They cried when we put them to bed because they wanted to fish some more Twos. And the first thing the first thing they did was get up this morning. You know, the only hard part is Casey's just young enough where he can't figure out how to, he was grabbing the worms and he was trying to pull them apart instead of just like, pulling apart just like the end and putting it on the hook. So he can't do that part. He can pretty much do everything else. So they've been catching a ton of fish and they're fishing currently.
Nice.
So they're upset
with
me this morning. Yeah.
That's what we're going to call it. That's what we're going to call it. I got worms.
Now, okay, Mashup 217. We got a lot to get to. Is just Willie coming in? Is Jim coming in? Do we know?
Here, just a sec here. Let me show you my Willie real quick.
How's Willie doing? Of course, Willie McDonald joining us today. How's Willie this morning?
I'm good, fellas. How are you doing?
Doing great. Happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see you too, Sean. I wasn't expecting you. I know you're busy traveling, man. You look happy. You look healthy.
Well, thank you. Yeah, well, we've made it all the way to Minnesota now, so we're here for a week while we decompress from a ton of driving. But the kids are having fun. Everybody's having fun. I got no complaints from the road. That is for darn sure. Some interesting interviews coming up as well. But that's not what we're here for. Let's talk Project Orion. Willie, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks again for having me. So I know Jamie was on last week and he talked about this a little bit and so on the August long weekend, July 31st to August 3rd will be the sort of redeployment day for everybody. We're holding. It's actually called the Patricia's Howl, with a sort of subheading of the 20th anniversary of Task Force Orion. And Task Force Orion was the 1st Battalion, Princess Patricia's deployment to Afghanistan in 2006 as a battle group. And we're commemorating that event out at Regina Beach Campground over the 3 nights. And really it's to get the veterans together. There's going to be serving members there. We're going to have some mission partners, and in addition, it's open to all first responders, veterans, and their families, as well as the public. And so through a guy in Regina named Carl Fix, who's just an absolute beast of a human being. Carl helped us fundraise, and so that really allowed us to make this commemorate this in a really meaningful way. So there's going to be 11 bands that are playing 9 shows over the 3 days. It's free to the public. It's free to everybody. The only thing is, we're going to have obviously a bar, and we're going to have some food, and everything across the board is going to be $5. So anybody that wants to come and bring a trailer, bring a tent, doesn't matter. We've got plenty of room, and it's not going to cost them anything. And we've got some excellent musicians in the lineup, and of course I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Bush League Orchestra. That's a band from Liberty, Saskatchewan, and the nucleus is the Stratton family, and those guys have been supporting us for 10 years and taking a very reduced rate in order to come play for us, and they're going to be playing on Saturday night, closing things out. So the opening ceremony is Friday at 6 p.m. and the Lieutenant Governor is gonna help us out with getting that opening ceremonies kicked off. And we have Senator Marty Klein, we have Blaine McLeod, who's the MLA for Lumsden Morse from the Saskatchewan government, and just a really meaningful weekend of connection, and lots of exciting stuff happening. We got a golf tournament, of course. We've got a memorial service on Sunday, so we really need to thank our big sponsors, and as in addition, as Jamie said last week, thank the soldiers and the families for their sacrifice during the Canada's mission in Afghanistan.
Absolutely. Now, I didn't have a chance to get into it with Jamie, but he did mention the brewery. I can't remember the name of it. And who else has been big sponsors?
So we've got the Night Group as sponsors, of course, Brandt Industries. We have some private sponsors that have committed significant amounts of capital. We have sponsorship in the way of donations, which has been fantastic as well. Windsor Plywood. Geez, I can't remember them all, but what I'll do is I'll send you a link to our 2 websites, and it has all the sponsors and event partners listed there if anybody's interested. And it's been significant. I don't want to give you the dollar amount because it'll knock you off your chairs, and I don't want to compromise anybody's standing, but we do have them listed there, and there's going to be a giant banner on the front of the stage that Jamie built, and the stage is just absolutely amazing. And that was built through some very generous donations. So we've been able to really turn the page on this. And I know Jamie mentioned it. We've been doing this. Him and I have been doing this this is the 10th year, and for the bulk of that, he and I have been funding this whole thing sort of out of pocket, with a lot of help from some close friends who have made, donations over the years. But this really relieved the pressure, and we're expecting about 2,000 people per day to show up.
Wow.
And enjoy the music and the camaraderie and everything that goes hand in hand.
Well, I know I can speak firsthand. I got to go take a look at the new stage. It is impressive. It is a Jamie Sinclair stage if I've ever seen one. And I think anyone showing up there will be pleasantly surprised with not only what you guys got going on, but Jamie's campground and everything else. Like the little area he's got there is quite pretty cool. And the town in Regina Beach, I think, is a hidden gem. It just you're driving, you're like, where am I going? And then you pop over and you're like, oh, this is what it is. So to any Mashup listener who's in the area, I think if you could partake in any of those days, you're going to be met with a ton of cool military guys. And not only Willie and Jamie, but I'm sure a whole bunch of others, Willie, that I've probably met along my tours as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be a real special weekend, and it's really unfortunate that neither of you two guys can make it. But listen, we're there every year doing the same thing, and rain, shine, COVID doesn't matter. We do it anyway. So we're happy to always have the more people, have you as guests, and the more the merrier.
Well, I promise in the future, between me and Twos and the Mashup, we'll make sure we get an appearance in there and have a little bit of fun. Obviously, this year I am away, and I don't know of a harder working man right now than Twos. So I assume that's
Twos tried to get the time off. Twos could not get the time off. Twos is flummoxed by that, but whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but everybody at the company had booked that weekend off months ago, I guess. So
any final thoughts, Willie, before we let you out of here, that you want people to know? You've already mentioned you can camp. It's free to camp. If you're coming for a beverage or a burger or what food you have there, there's going to be some money involved there. Jamie said it last week. If you're coming to camp, there just won't be any power, so make sure you got something if you want to run your camper. But tenting, everything that way. Is there anything else that you want to make sure people know about the event?
No, I think at the end of the day, it's family friendly. We did try and get the bouncy castles back, but of course there's some sensitivity over that for the from the insurance perspective, so they denied us the bouncy castles. So we won't have that set up. But listen, you said it best, Sean. Regina Beach is a hidden gem. They've got lots of fun things to do in the town itself and on the beach, and so some of the world-class fishing on the lake, and it's just going to be a really good time to relax, kick your feet up, and enjoy some good music. And hey, beer, coolers, doesn't matter what your beverage of choice is. It's $5 across the board for a beer or drink of any kind. And so really the idea is not to generate revenue from it, but to ensure that people can come and enjoy themselves and not break the bank.
Absolutely.
Awesome, Willie. Well, we appreciate you hopping on and doing this, and we'll look forward to some pictures or a video or two of the stage, because we'd love nothing more than to show it here on the show and show what people are missing.
I'm sure we're gonna have something of Jamie crowd surfing.
Yeah, you bet. And I promise I'll send you the links to the two websites.
Perfect. Thanks,
Awesome.
Willie.
Thanks, Willie.
Thanks, guys.
Have a safe trip.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Oh, and I cut him off. Thanks, Willie. There's Willie McDonald talking about
Class act.
Yeah, well, yeah, him, well, that whole group of guys is just super cool. There probably won't be a safer place on that weekend than surrounded by those military guys, although they like to have fun. And you know what? This is life in the camper twos. My youngest keeps coming in looking for something and trying to talk to me. So give me a moment. You may start the Coots 6.5.
Oh, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean's been cut from the team. So here's what we're looking at. Judge throws out $13 million drug smuggling charges against trucker over egregious charter rights violations. Well, what happened? I'm glad you asked. So he got busted with 121 bricks of cocaine in his trailer and $10,000 in cash. He had $10,000 in cash on him, and just completely coincidentally, because his plea was that he didn't know the cocaine was there. He didn't know there was $10 million, $13 million worth of cocaine. And it's just a coincidence that he had $10,000 in cash. And so anyway, He gets stopped by the border people. They pull him aside and they strip search him. And the judge ruled that they didn't have sufficient just cause to strip search him. They found him with $10,000 in cash and $13 million worth of cocaine. Where exactly is the bar? Like, is the judge going to be like, well, you know what? He needed to have at least $14.7 million worth of cocaine before you strip search him. Are we fucking serious?
I liked her quote. Although it is somewhat comforting that the cocaine was seized. Comforting? Like, really? That's how you're going to word that? Okay. Although it was somewhat comforting that the cocaine was seized and did not make it onto the streets, the seriousness of the alleged offenses made this decision very difficult. That's the judge.
Yes. And so what happened to the person in question, whose name was Harinder Singh Saini? I'm glad you asked. They made him take off all of his clothes and lift up his nutsack to see if he was hiding anything under there. And then they made him bend over so that they could take a look at his booty hole and investigate it for tampering.
Correct.
And because of that, he managed to get the charges were stayed. $13 million worth of cocaine is not just cause to make sure that somebody's booty hole didn't have anything hidden up it.
Yeah. I should have referenced right at the start, or mentioned right at the start, if you like the show, this is your time, folks, to, if you're on X, hit the retweet button. Elsewhere, like, share, all the things. Now let's get on to some rapid fire twos, shall we? You want to show the video of the premier getting harassed?
Yeah, absolutely. This is, I think you're going to enjoy this.
You sold us out to corporations. The woman was yelling at the premier.
I think it's sped up a little bit. Here.
Her names and questioned Smith's stances on several matters. For the most part, the morning has been jovial.
Yeah, you platform Berta Krause that as separatist. You're a separatist. You're a fucking separatist. You don't care about us. You only care about selling us out for money. Look, you're fascist pancake. You're a fucking fascist.
Fuck your fascist pancake.
You sold us out to corporations.
Somebody who swears more than twos. There you go.
That's a rare thing. And check out the comment section about the old Coot 6.5. Hi, Tamara. It is so good to see you.
It's not mischief.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the Coot 6.5 is that all of these other things keep happening.
Oh, man. It's cool. Tamara, yeah. I hope you're doing well. I
hope so as well.
You're
a fascist. So, yeah, if you're enjoying this show, smash the like button like it's a fascist pancake.
Global news is on the brink amid declining revenues. Global news is on the brink. An executive with the Canada's #3 television network yesterday told a Senate hearing the assessment came despite millions in federal subsidies and a 38% profit margin in TV last year. According to Blacklock's reporter, Global and other TV broadcasters from the outbreak of the pandemic received $103.6 million in direct cash grants, including federal wage subsidies. It's quoted, "The future of an entire Canadian industry is hanging in the balance. We can no longer do this alone," said Reeb. Chorus Entertainment in last year's annual report detailed $194.6 million in net income from TV and radio. The television revenues increased 3%. Profit margins were 38% in television and 15% in radio. He's quoted saying,
the fun part.
What's the fun part? The Netflix and Amazon?
The fun part is where revenue is down like 15% year over year in this and 20% year over year in that, and that shares of Chorus Entertainment are currently trading at 4 cents when it was 9 cents. You may remember me saying it can't possibly get any lower, and then it did 5 times. I was incredibly wrong about that.
You know what I love about Tues? Tues is like, I don't know if I enjoyed the solo show. But then I come on, I start reading it, and he's like, like, I think you like me just so you can talk over me. That's what I think. So there you go.
Well, I was
I
happy
think
to let
that's what you
talk.
want.
It's just that you're talking about all the boring shit.
Oh, I'm
Talk
talking
about the fun and interesting
I'm
part.
reading
because the whole
I'm
point of this.
literally reading the article.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's all enthralling.
Beep, beep,
No
beep,
offense,
all right.
Western Standard. I just thought that the best part of it was towards the end. So the thing about it is the reason why this is happening, and it's funny because you've got
Good to be
all
back,
of these
folks. It's good to be back.
You done? You done? May I continue?
I don't know. It's kind of nice being back. I was excited this morning. I had all my reading done well before the show. It's perfect. Now, what would you like to say, Toos? What would you like to say?
I
What was
would
the
like to
fun
say
part?
thank you for the intro. Thank you for the teeing it up you just did there. I would like to say that people like us have been saying that this is going to be the inevitable outcome for years as they continue to just toe government lines and speak dishonestly about any number of issues. I mean, if they were doing their job, we would have never even thought to create the mashup.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so here we are, years down the road, where they're just circling the drain, getting worse and worse every year. And now it's to the point where things are starting to close. And it's funny because you've got like Unifor is upset about this because they're all union jobs. And they talk about the changing media landscape and how they've been sounding the alarm. They're sounding the wrong alarm. The alarm they should have been sounding is that the whole point of news is to inform people about what's going on. And so if you've got a supposed news organization who is no longer informing anybody about what's going on, you're literally just a dilapidated truck up on blocks. That's it. You're supposed to be able to travel places, but you can't because you're up they're up on blocks.
Yeah, up on blocks. And if you were really smart, you'd take it to Zeebs. You'd take it to Zane Southgate because he'd get that bad boy running.
He would.
Yeah, he would. Or you bring it to the mashup and we'd change this thing around real fast. Global News, you listening? Come on over. Chorus shutting down news production in Calgary, Edmonton transferring to Toronto. Chorus laid off 43 Unifor members, most of them in Alberta.
Yep. And that was the update. So the original article was about how they were going to be announcing and how bad they were doing financially, and those are the actual numbers.
Not at our expense of our rights, says National Chief on fast-tracking major projects. Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Nepanek took aim at the federal government's proposed changes to fast-track approvals for major projects, arguing that economic development cannot come at the expense of First Nations rights.
Nothing's ever good enough, hey? Did you ever notice that? It's always just a little bit more. It's blood from a stone. It's never just, hey, you know what? Actually, you guys should just go ahead and do this because everybody benefits. When was the last time you heard that from any of these special interest groups, no matter who they are? Hey, you know what? This is actually a good thing. We're not going to get involved. Instead, it's always, where's our pound of flesh?
Carney drops $160,000 on airplane food during one trip. This comes from the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Carney and his 55-person entourage spent $159,800 on an airplane food during 1 week-long trip to Athens, Abu Dhabi, Johannesburg, and the Canary Islands in November 2025, according to government records. That's $2,850 per passenger.
Why did they need so many people to go?
I don't know.
So now you see, this is the guy who wrote Visions. And there is no planet B. We need to cut our global emissions. We need to stop doing this. But here's the thing, is you're not allowed to have Chilean sea bass when you're on a fucking Zoom call.
How much fun would it be to be the prime minister for a week? Okay, Tooz is the prime minister. I get to ride roughshod. And Tooz just starts... You're going to get on the plane. He's just handing out, you're fired. You're fired.
That would be great. Actually, Yeah, all of these people who are just expecting to get a free trip to Abu Dhabi.
We're going to Abu
And-
Dhabi. Nope.
Yeah. And
You're let go.
then you just stand there, tickets, please. And then you take their ticket and you hand them a pink slip. Take your ticket, hand them a pink slip. Who else wants to get on the plane? You? Do you want to try and get on this plane? No, you don't? Okay, that's what I thought.
Immigration Department pauses applications to sponsor parents, grandparents to settle in Canada. On Wednesday, the RCC announced on its website that it will no longer accept any new formal expressions of interest to sponsor parents and grandparents to settle in Canada until further notice. It said it would also pause invitations to potential sponsors to apply to bring their parents and grandparents here to settle.
Isn't that funny? Like, we've been talking about this for years. Maybe not everybody, but lots of people have been talking about how it's just a little bit weird that if you come in, say, I want to work and make a life here, and then there's oh yeah, by the way, I want to bring all of my retired relatives who also want to just live here for free. I would love to see a common sense immigration system. And in the meantime, the best we're getting are these little crumbs.
Well, in fairness to the people coming, if there was that loophole, I'd probably expose it too. I'd probably be like, "Well, my parents are going to come too." You
Well,
just need
exactly it.
Right. You just need the government to step in and chart us on a better path. That's saying a lot from the government.
We don't need the government to step in.
On
Have you never
immigration?
seen an episode of the Mashup before? We need the government to step away.
Sure, but who runs immigration if it isn't the government?
Nobody. That's the point.
Okay. Do tell, Deuce. Do tell.
I don't know how to explain this more. It's getting a little crowded over here, and maybe we just disconnect the phone line and don't have anybody answering it.
All right. Alberta government creates bike lane complaint line ahead of fall legislation. Alberta's government has launched a public complaint line for bike lanes. Albertans can now fill out a form online sharing their concerns about bike lanes in their communities, such as whether they feel the lane is underused or taking away parking spots.
Well, it literally is, by definition, taking away parking spots.
I agree.
But I don't know how often you've hung out in places that have bike lanes, but they're great for, like, if you want to sit down and watch the extended edition of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, or if you want to just, I don't know, work on a bonsai tree or do some sort of thing where you just need complete isolation and a lot of space and nobody's going to bother you over an extended period of time. The best place to do that in an urban setting is directly in the middle of a fucking bike lane.
I think in Canada, the problem we have is who uses the bike lane for 8 months of the year.
Nobody. And some places, things like that work. Like if you go to Copenhagen, there is like this mountain of discarded bicycles over by the main train station, or at least there used to be back in the day. It's probably a homeless camp now, but there's just, if it's a place where everybody's using bicycles all the time, fair enough. But you get a hotel room in Copenhagen and it's slightly larger than an average bathroom. So everybody's cramped in, everybody's tight. Here, things are spread out a little bit more. It doesn't work like that.
When I was in Finland, they had unbelievable bike lanes, but they weren't, or bike routes, I should say. They weren't bike lanes. They were off the highway, right? Everywhere you went, there were bike lanes on both sides, but they weren't built. They weren't taking away from the actual roadway. They were, you could get around to, I swear, where I played hockey too, you could get around faster on a bike than you ever could a car. They'd done them exceptionally well. And what I think we're talking about here is downtown Calgary having a bike lane. And you're like, and have you driven downtown Calgary? It sucks. At least from a guy.
It absolutely sucks. And sure, Helsinki's probably awesome or whatever. I know you didn't play in Helsinki, but just
played in Rahe.
It's the only place in Finland I know, okay? It's the only one I can Helsink of. So Anyway, the point is they probably have a lot of space there because, like, A, there's not a lot of people there, and B, does it even exist? Remember that conspiracy theory we were talking about that Finland doesn't exist,
Yes.
and that anybody who thought they went there was actually just in Norway instead? I love that. So anyway, the point is they've got lots of space for it, but in places like Calgary or Edmonton, shitter's full, guys.
We'll talk about shitters in a little bit. T-Rex sold.
Yeah.
It's a world record for Gus the T-Rex. It just sold for $50.1 million at Sotheby's, New York. Am I saying that right? It's the most expensive dinosaur ever up for auction.
I mean, with inflation, that record's just going to keep getting broken. But how cool is that? Like, I would love to have a dinosaur.
A giant T-Rex on your front lawn.
I wouldn't see. Here's the problem: is it's just like
you
a
put
classic
the giant
car,
T-Rex in the store.
Well, it wouldn't really fit very well, or you'd have to like have it in some weird, unnatural position, as opposed to this where it's been dead. But it's like the whole midlife crisis car thing, right? Zane was bugging me to buy this beauty looking car that had 15,000 miles on it. I think it was still the original owner, and I'm like, you're not asking me. He says, do you want to buy this? I'm like, you're not asking me the right question, because obviously the answer is yes. It's A, can I store it anywhere? B, do I have the free cash kicking around to do it? And C, will I not get murdered by Mrs. Twos, right? But here's the thing is once you get, maybe about a decade older than we are right now, hey, you can buy that 3-car garage. And now you've got the space for it, and it's got to get filled with something. And you're at the point where you've got the free cash that you can buy it without getting your head torn off. And so that's when you get it. It's not because you're having a midlife crisis. Correlation is not causation. It just so happens that at that point in your life, you can actually feasibly do that. And I imagine it's the same thing for dinosaurs. Like I want to get that today, but I don't have a place to put it. And I'm not going to leave a $50 million dinosaur on the front lawn. Okay.
I hope we get to the point where me and you're like, do you want to buy a dinosaur? You want to put it at the Mashup HQ? Yeah, I think it's a great idea. How much you guys spend? 50 million. It's a cool 50 million,
Yeah. I mean, it's less than what we paid for Chorus Entertainment.
Okay, third-party advertisers. You were talking about this last week. You got it back in again. Is there something you wanted to point out again on third-party advertisers?
Actually, yes. But before we get to that, you might have missed this because it got thrown in the middle. What evidence do you have that these are illegal guns from the United States?
Well, no, I'll take that question. In this city, we recover crime guns regularly, and the vast majority, 85 to 90% of them, when they can be traced, are traced to the United States of America. This city has a handgun crime problem. These are not licensed gun owners. We are not arresting people with firearms who are licensed gun owners. That is not happening in this city in any meaningful way. The people we arrest with firearms quite routinely, our officers interdict people with illegal guns, are criminals. They are criminals without firearms licenses, and the guns they have are illegal. The vast majority sourced to the United States of America. That's been the trend for many, many years in this city.
Well put.
Well put. I love his reaction. No, I'll answer that question.
Yeah, no, I'd be happy to take that.
Yeah, that's good on you, the police chief in Toronto.
Yes. Well, I mean, you actually want somebody who's going to be honest about what's happening, right? Now, third-party advertisers. This is Elections Alberta, who have inexplicably given Forever Canada
a pass,
just like a hall pass to just, it's like the Ron Swanson pass where it's like, it just says, I can do what I want. But look at this. So you've got Let Alberta Decide over $250,000. Pathway to Independence, almost $90,000. Alberta's Voice, that's the first and only prominent let Alberta stay in Canada one. That's the NDP one. It's at 51. Alberta Land Consortium 30. Jason Levine almost 30. Vote to stay 21,896. This literally just got updated since I put this together this morning. Vote to stay as of a couple hours ago had 11,700 and some dollars, of which 11,000 was seed money from the people who started it. And the Together No, same thing. They had something like 11,000, and at least five of it was seed money. And then everybody else, all of this is all we want to leave. So you've got a bunch of people putting in their own money. The NDP one, it's murky. If someone had a bunch of time, they could get into it. But the point is that the money, the people are deciding with their wallets, and it's overwhelmingly in favor of leaving Alberta. Now, I mean, that could change if Forever Canada decided to actually, post what they've got going on. But until that happens, this is the story.
Brian Jean?
Yeah. So Brian Jean. Oh, wait. Here you go. This is a massive project for Fort McMurray and our entire region. Blah, 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 blah. You've got the United Conservative Party happy to announce the agreement has been reached on the carbon capture and storage project, which is mandated by the federal government as a condition for the MOU that the pipeline approval depends on. And here is the UCP talking about this as though it's some kind of a good thing. This is lipstick on a pig.
The Team Korea package. Hyundai Motors is effectively withdrawing its planned $3.4 trillion hydrogen investment in Canada. This project wasn't just a simple overseas investment. It was one of the key cards in the Team Korea package, centered around the Hanwha Ocean, aimed at securing the contract for Canada's next generation of submarines. This approach was that if Canada chose Korean submarines, Hyundai Motors would build a large-scale hydrogen ecosystem locally as well. However, as the submarine project tilted towards Germany, Hyundai Motors no longer has any reason to continue the massive local investment.
Exactly, right? But read this part, because this is the most important part, Sean.
Read it for me, Twos. No? Come on, Twos. Read it. Read it, Twos.
From Canada's perspective, it's as if they've lost not only the submarine project, but also shipbuilding cooperation and the $3.4 trillion Hyundai Motor investment. All in one fell swoop.
Whoops.
And I don't know, like you gotta get more cultured, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm working on it, Twos. I'm working on it. Daniel Smith. A new survey shows Alberta's business leaders are overwhelmingly optimistic about our economy, with 65% expecting economic growth over the next year and 55% planning to increase capital investment.
Isn't that interesting? Compare that to the story last week or 2 weeks ago.
With Farkas?
With the 57%. 57% of factories were looking to leave, and something like 80% of them had no plans at all in the future to do any sort of capital investments. Alberta is the only cylinder firing in this engine that we could cynically refer to as Confederation right now.
Well, and to go along with that, nearly 80% of Canada's past year job gains were in one province. I'll give you one guess, Twos. Alberta.
Yep. Now, the finer point, to be fair, 55,000 of them were public sector.
Ooh.
But the only place gaining employment in any significant amount, the only place
in a meaningful way.
The only place where anybody's looking to invest, the only place where anybody's looking to expand in this entire country, and it's a pretty big fucking place, is Alberta.
Yeah, it said Alberta is home to roughly 12% of Canada's population. Alberta added nearly 80,000 jobs in the past 12 months, while the rest of Canada, 99,000. So think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah.
So-
you want to show Mr. Farkas again? Old Mayor McFarkas.
It's the same thing you keep seeing week after week. The same Calgary Chamber report that we dismantled fucking entirely. I'm talking about how it's going to cost money, thousands of dollars per person, and put 175,000 jobs at risk. And then there's a reason the Bank of Montreal is no longer headquartered in Montreal. Yeah, because the biggest industry in fucking Quebec is equalization. And so if they say that they're going to separate from Canada, boom, they lose their biggest industry. Of course, everybody left fucking Quebec when they thought they were going to separate. So anyway, I really need, you've got all of these announcements that keep happening of investments, of job growth, of all of this stuff in Alberta specifically, while at the same time, people like Jeremy Farkas and Naheed Nenshi and Thomas Lickisack keep saying that investment is going to leave and people are going to be scared to invest and it's unfriendly climate for business. And some reporter, some journalist at some point needs to say, given all of these billions of dollars of announcements that have happened in the last couple months, do you want to reconsider your presumption that it's going to scare away investment?
Lead, not leave. You want to show the, yeah, here you go.
Yeah. So here we have former Alberta MLA, Iris Evans.
My main mission here is to remind people about the importance of being Canadian. I never fly into this country without being grateful that this is my country. And there's a lot of conversation now. I think that we are well positioned to do even better right now. Our premier is working hard. I feel that the country really needs Alberta, and Alberta needs to lead the country rather than leave the country.
The rest of the country needs Alberta, and Alberta needs to leave. Not we need to coexist together. These people are depending on us to work hard and make money, so we shouldn't leave them hanging. Maybe they should just stop being dicks. I've said this before. The vast majority of the separatist concerns would have never surfaced if we'd have gotten a fucking thank you every once in a while from the rest of Canada. And I thought it was really interesting. She wasn't like, I wake up here every day and think about how great it is to be part of Canada. She says, every time I fly in here, I think about how great Canada is.
Jeff
She
Rath.
exists in a completely different world than the actual people who have paid for her lifestyle.
Jeff Rath. Okay. Like, you have to explain this. Day 13 on the road. And obviously I missed something here because I've seen a whole bunch of things on X. I was like, what the heck is going on? What happened with Jeff Rath? And what are we reading here? I just walk me through this.
So what happened is that all of his assets have been seized. And so Jeff Rath spent, I would say, I'm going to say a majority, but a significant part of his career working with First Nations. And there's some kind of a fee dispute. I'm not going to get into reading off everything he says here because I don't understand it all. But we've got Dennis Modry losing his court case, Jeffrey Rath now with his assets being seized. And then there's been a really significant, potentially disturbing thing that happened in the personal life of one of the leaders of this movement that isn't ours to talk about. But the point is that
you're starting to see things of the leaders pushing against Canada. They're starting to go after them.
Yeah, there's just starting to be a few too many coincidences.
Well, I don't think they're coincidences, right? Like when we had this chat, I don't know, certainly well over a year ago, and I've had the chat with lots of prominent figures across Canada, the United States, maybe the world. They talked about as you get closer to anything meaningful happening, they will go after the leaders. So
Yep.
you're starting to see that happen in real time. Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know. Maybe it's here. In all fairness, maybe it is completely legitimate. Maybe Jeffrey Rath did something completely unscrupulous, but
it coming at this point in time, that isn't a coincidence. That is
no, it doesn't. I'm just saying, in all fairness, it's possible.
He's
But really, the
guy that's in the courtroom arguing against Elections Alberta and everything. Come on,
exactly.
We don't have to go down like it isn't a conspiracy. It's happening right in front of our eyes. We can believe what our eyes are telling us. It's okay, folks.
So yeah,
okay, all right. Well, something to keep tabs on as we move closer to October 19th, because this won't be the last of it. Not a chance. This I mean, you tack on the Forever Canada thing. That's one of the ones you just didn't mention in your lineup of things. Like, that's odd too. Like, you're not gonna go through. You're not gonna make them. That seems odd. So that's 4. Okay, mashup effect. Walk me through what you got here.
Okay, so from the National Post. Letting BC charge tolls on new Alberta pipeline is trade barriers on steroids.
No shit.
Because it sets a horrific precedent. Because 80%.
Wait, could you scroll in? Does it say as found out by 222 minutes or anything like that?
No, it doesn't.
Literally,
we were talking about this when we sat down together last week.
Yes,
this is literally what we said, and we were talking about, I mean, it was me saying it, I guess.
Yeah, no. That's why I say, is it written by twos? Does it give credit to twos? Because I'm like, I even think you said Pandora's box. I could be wrong. I should go back and listen to the, it's like somebody took our script, or not our script, our
transcript.
Transcript, thank you. And was like, oh yeah, that's a great line. Yeah, boom. Let's put it right in the story.
Yeah, it basically reads exactly like that conversation we had about this, and how David Eby is an idiot because he opened up Pandora's box. And now when you've got 80%, according to this article, of the shipyard goods that land in Vancouver traveling through Alberta to the rest of the country, it's creating an interesting thing because they don't realize the power dynamic there.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. I mean, that is the mashup effect, because that was Monday.
Yeah,
Monday that came out.
Yeah, it aired Monday, and then when did this come out? It came out Tuesday.
Well, sometimes you just spot on. All right. I got to give you, I'll give twos full credit for that, because you're the one who was talking about it. So it just literally happened.
I think that was, I don't know if I was the first person to bring it up, because it seemed really obvious as soon as it happened. I'm like, they can't be this dumb. And then I forgot they're NDP.
Yes. You had NDP on women's wages in there. Do you want to talk about that again? I know you brought that up last week.
This is funny because, I brought up the fact that there was this study done that says a woman earns 64 cents for every dollar that a man gets. And then if we really, put our nose to the grindstone on this issue, we could probably get it down to like 60. And then I pointed out exactly how bad the study was done with its methodology and how it missed every meaningful opportunity to actually have something other than just idiotic diatribe. And then fast forward a few days, and the NDP are talking about it without realizing how dumb it makes them look.
All right, drivers, what do you got for this this week? Any drivers, or is it just some funny videos?
Hey, you can take
no, that's drivers.
Catch. Here. You want this one too?
And was just throwing all this garbage out. He got busted. And somebody's making him clean it up. But the neat thing is, this dude was nice enough to offer him some drinks while he's working on that hot day, cleaning up the garbage that he himself made.
Hmm.
Now, check out this.
Where is this?
It's on the highway.
Thanks, Twos.
Highway 401 eastbound in Cambridge, Ontario. All eastbound lanes closed. OPP investigating. Here's a picture of the semi that started it all. The truck driver was arrested for dangerous driving after he allegedly plowed through slowed or stopped traffic. Driver released pending investigation. And here's the helicopter that was used to airlift somebody out of it. So, yeah, here's it's fun for us to laugh at, but this has real world consequences. I was talking to a long lost friend of mine the other day, a guy I hadn't talked to in a decade. And I'm like, well, hey, how you been? And he says, I am sick of brown people. And then actually I talked to somebody who I'd met for the first time, and he basically was like, hey, my name's Bill, and I am tired of immigration in this country. So as much as you guys, I don't know, somebody out there probably thinks it's racist that we're pointing out all of these silly things that they're doing on the roads every week. Here's a car trying to make a getaway on 2 flat tires, and you can't tell because it's like the infrared cam, but that's all sparks flying off the front. Okay. Here is a water bomber coming down on a burning semi. Think it's racist, whatever. I don't care. We're the only people still laughing about this. We're finding the funny in it. And that is a rare thing if you go talk to somebody on the street these days.
Well, let's get into some goofy news then.
Sure.
Teen falls to his death while climbing new LA bridge for social media stunt. The 6th Street Viaduct, which glitters with thousands of LED lights and offers breathtaking views of LA's skyline, is the largest and most expensive project of its kind ever built in the city. And, well, I mean...
Yeah, and so apparently people like to try and climb up on it. And one guy climbed up, but took the express elevator down. And so it's interesting in a goofy news sort of way that this is the 4th week in a row that we're talking about somebody plummeting to their death.
Correct.
And I don't know what's going on, but that's a weird
Did you take any heat for the guy jumping out of the plane without a parachute? If I was in the plane, I would have probably jumped out too.
Well, I mean, it's the natural response, right? Odds are, it ended up, here's the thing with odds is they aren't always in your favor, despite what Katniss Everdeen has to say. So, you're looking at it, you're like, okay, well, I'm in a plane with a woman pilot. My chances of survival are better if I just wing it out the door. With no parachute. Fair enough. I can't argue with the logic.
Oh, man. Okay. The deputy leader of the NDP.
Yeah. So this video is a minute long. So I would just strongly recommend that everybody fast forward 1 minute. Do not listen to this. It's annoying. She has a really annoying voice. You can just, even if you're just listening and not watching, you will be able to tell that this is somebody from the Green Party.
It's not normal to have our air full of smoke so that everybody has to stay inside. I think of the people up north who are evacuating their homes. I think of our wildland firefighters whose budgets are always being cut. And this premier doesn't say the word climate change. It's talking about building a new pipeline. How dare he? Not only is this affecting people right here, right now, it's affecting future generations, and that is his legacy. So as a mom, as a concerned citizen, as somebody who's been banging on pots for ages, I blame the oil and gas sector for burying the evidence and creating a massive market marketing campaign against the action that we should be taking. Shame on those politicians that are building new pipelines right now. Shame on those politicians that are not investing in adaptation because they are making people sick, and we can do better.
So right off the bat, a few things jump out. She has been banging on pots and pans for ages. How do you think those pots and pans got made? Anything? That microphone she had on, it looked like it was made from plastic. Do you know where that plastic came from? It used to be in the ground. And the oil companies dug it up. See, that's the thing. She says they're all about burying shit. But believe it or not, the whole modus operandi of a petroleum company is to dig stuff up. You take stuff that's buried and you unbury it. And then you mix in a little bit of, I don't know, magical goodness, and then it becomes gasoline, which runs the whole fucking world. Okay? And these people never discuss trade-offs. They never discuss the nuance of the economic arguments they're making because their shit falls apart when they do. And most of all, Sean, whenever somebody starts a sentence with the phrase "as a mom" and they're a politician, 100% of the time, they're about to sound like an asshole.
Let's get to something that I love talking to twos about. It's pop culture. Okay. Supergirl officially becomes DC's worst performing major theatrical release since 2004's Catwoman. You think it's as bad as Catwoman, or you just think people are tired of,
Well, I don't know. Like, keep in mind that Catwoman, despite
Was
being
terrible?
a horrible movie,
was horrible.
had Halle Berry walking
It was still
around in that-
horrible.
Yeah, but at least it had Halle Berry walking around in that thing.
Sure. It still couldn't
Okay?
get me to go see it. I don't care. At that point, I'm a huge fan of Halle Berry. She's a gorgeous woman. Okay. Have I watched 15 minutes of that? I think I maybe made 15 minutes. This is terrible. This is
You ever
beyond
watch the
terrible.
basketball scene?
No, I don't think so.
You're missing out.
This is
Okay.
a terrible movie.
Worst
Supergirl
performing
can't
major
be-
theatrical release since 2004. This is a multi-decade level bomb. That's how bad this movie was. Okay? And then here's the other thing that's interesting. So Odyssey's about to come out.
Yeah. So the Odyssey debuts at 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, highest rating for a Christopher Nolan film in his career. Me and you have been talking about this. It releases today worldwide, right?
Mhm.
Today's the big day for it. Now it's got
The highest rating ever in his
Ever.
career.
in his
Better than
career.
Memento. Better
Yeah, but-
than
but-
The Dark
ooh.
Knight.
You can't go Memento because Memento was a phenomenal film. It was just, it wasn't the height of Christopher Nolan. The height of Christopher Nolan is The Dark Knight,
Inception.
Interstellar.
Okay. And
I have a
this is-
huge spot in my heart for Tenet. I just do. I really enjoyed that film.
No, Tenet.
Tenet.
Tenant
What
is
did
a guy who pays you rent.
What did I say?
Tenant.
Well, Tenet. Anyways, yes.
Tenant. It's
anyways.
a palindrome.
Yes, I realized what it is. Shut up. All
Yeah,
right.
it's the
I'm
same
just
thing
saying it
forward
was
and
a great
backward.
film. Okay.
It's like
I actually like
it's like
Dunkirk
Waka.
too.
Waka is my favorite palindrome.
Okay.
Great Lake.
The Odyssey.
Okay. So, anyways, this is a little fucking suspicious. And I have my doubts. We've talked about it before, how there's so many different movies out there where the critic rating is absurdly high and the actual people who watched it is significantly less than that. And I'm guessing that this is going to be the same thing, because your job these days in entertainment isn't to accurately review things. It's to say the things that you're supposed to say. And they did that switch, and they didn't really tell anybody, but it's getting really fucking obvious. And here's Variety. Moana creatives on working closely to honor Polynesian culture and traditions and why representation matters in the live action film. And then Nerdrotic fucking beauty, by the way. You should have him on the show. He says...
Fine. Finish what you're going to say, and then I'm going to bring
Here.
up the Odyssey.
I'm going to bring this up. This is the same people who literally a month ago said The Odyssey, why Elon Musk and his troll army attacks aren't just silly but wildly inaccurate, because they were criticizing it for not having any Greeks at all involved in the production of the film. There's no Greek people. And so it's fine. You've got to have Polynesians with Polynesians in it, but it's fine if you can make a Greek movie without any Greeks in it.
I'm just going to bring this up because when I first read the story on the Odyssey, it had a 90, what did we say, 98% on the tomato meter? Now it's at 96, and the popcorn meter has 97%. That's fans, correct?
That's interesting.
So, like,
I'm suspicious.
If there's anyone who can play around in the diversity landscape of Hollywood, Christopher Nolan might be the guy. I'm not saying I agree with things. His films are just so freaking good. He's my favorite director of all time, bar none. Every film up to this point has been phenomenal.
Yeah, but you haven't even watched Following.
It's true. I haven't. It's true. Fair enough. I'm just going on the long list of movies he's done since Memento. Right?
Oh, since Memento. Oh, okay. Well, what about 1 Hour Photo?
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Okay.
I'm not going to sit here and say it was like.
Who do you think was the best in that movie? Who do you think did the best job acting in that movie?
Robin Williams.
Oh, he does know it. I saw that in the theater. All right. Okay. All right. You get a slight pass.
I get a slight pass.
You still haven't seen Following.
I haven't seen Following. No.
If I knew where my DVDs were, I could show you a copy of it. All right. This lady in Florida gets herself this is not a custom license plate. This is one of the ones that just gets stamped out by prisoners. And she's upset.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
And for those of you listening and not watching, the license plate is SQZ-A55, which looks remarkably similar to Squeeze Ass. Now,
I was wondering if you're going to reach out, or how many people have reached out to buy the license plate off of her.
Oh, I thought you were going to say how many people have reached out to Squeeze Ass.
I could just see a bunch of people watching that story and be like, I'll take that license plate.
Oh, absolutely. Now, it reminds me of this one time I was driving down the road and I saw a custom license plate ahead of me. And I can't remember what kind of car it was on, but the license plate, and this is like ingrained in my mind, was GR8 LEGZ. Great legs. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. I bet you I got to get beside this car because this is going to be a smoking hot babe. Right? Right, Sean? Sound good so far?
Okay.
Okay. So finally, there's enough of a gap in traffic and I floor it. And I'm looking over as I go past. And it was like this 89-year-old man. Fucking legend. That was beauty. See, here's the thing, is there's two kinds of people in the world. There's the kind of people who get Squeeze Ass as a license plate and they get mad about it. And then there's the people who say, I'm super old. I'm going to get great legs as a license plate and it's going to be hilarious. And one of them is a lot happier than the other one.
You want to show, we were talking about feces earlier. You want to show the guy in the porta potty? I don't think you'll believe this story.
Well, this is Pee Pee Poo Poo Man of the Week. It has become a recurring segment on the show. Pee Pee Poo Poo Man of the Week, folks.
14th, 2026. My name is Chip Counterman. I'm a partner with Patriot Portable Restrooms here in Kansas City. But one of our guys went to pick up an event from the World Cup. I knocked on all the doors, made sure nobody was in the restrooms. He did find one of them locked, knocked on the door, and let the gentleman know he had 10 minutes to get out. Picked up everything else, went back to that toilet, knocked again. The man inside said he was not going to get out. Luckily, a police officer on a motorcycle went by. Our driver waved him down. Cop walked up to the door and asked the man to exit the toilet. The man replied that he could not reach the door and couldn't get out of the toilet. They looked inside and didn't see anybody. The lid was closed. No one was in the restroom. It kind of startled them. All of a sudden, a head popped out of the toilet and he said, "I'm in here." Fire department came after that and tried to instruct the man to exit the toilet, and the man would not do it. They asked him why he went in, and he told them he was retrieving a Mountain Dew bottle that he dropped in from the night before. So that put him then inside of the tank for about 8 hours, if all of that was true. After it was cut open, the man was able to exit the toilet. Fire department did hook up water to their truck and gave him a free shower. Long story short, horrible situation. Thank you to the Kansas City, Missouri Fire Department and Police Department for all the help. Watch out falling into toilets.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't. That's a horrific story. I can't imagine being like, it's a bizarre story that you're like, I can't. What?
Like,
Could you imagine being in a porta potty for 8 hours?
Well, not in a porta potty, in the porta potty for 8 hours. And like, I mean, at least when you got to go, you can just let it go. You don't need to worry about it. You know, it's not like when you're trapped in an elevator and you're like, okay, well, when do I start peeing in the corner? Like, if you're in the porta potty, Juice, you could just let it go. It's okay. But, I think the big takeaway here is that Mountain Dew is fucking delicious. And Johnny Tightlips, the moral of the story is don't drink Mountain Dew. Johnny Tightlips, go watch Ryan Jesperson, okay? We don't need that kind of attitude here. Dissing Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is the nectar of the gods, okay? And it's great. Only in its original form, right? I don't like the Code Red or like the Arctic Blue or any of the other weird ones. I just like the natural, holistic, the way God intended Mountain Dew, which is way more authentic than this produced crap that's like Code Red.
Can I just say, in this camper right now, it has to be 105 degrees. I am like dying on this side. I'm like, and somebody keeps knocking the power off, so everything just stops. I'm like, oh boy. Kids are having fun outside. It is hot here too. Minnesota right now is hot. And
there's a Minnesota, but it implies the existence of a large soda.
A large soda?
Which is actually what that guy was looking for in the porta potty.
Can I get a liter of cola?
It's for a cop.
Yeah. Are they coming out with a third one of those? Yes, they are. We talked about it on here, didn't we?
Yes.
You think it's going to be any good? The
No.
second one was not good.
I don't know. It's basically like my big fat East Indian wedding is what it looks like from the preview. So, you know, it's I know the allergies. Oh, this is a bad time to have a little tingle in my nose.
I can't tell if he's acting right now. He's actually got a tingle.
I'm not.
He's got.
I'm not. I feel like I'm about to sneeze.
That's a great face, too.
The feeling like I'm about to sneeze coming over me in the middle of a podcast is super annoying. Okay.
Are you okay?
So,
do we need to send somebody to check on you?
I don't know. This is going to be a little bit awkward.
This is a thing going on right now. Live situation in Mashup HQ.
I kind of want to just
Tooz has a
right
sneeze, and he's worried about how he sounds, and he's acting kind of erratic, folks. Should we get the cops over there?
Yeah. Well, Squirrel Nut says American Pies are the only good sequel movies. Empire Strikes Back, Godfather 2,
Young Guns 1 and 2.
Young Guns, yeah.
By far, Young Guns to me.
Hot Shots Part 2, also with Charlie Sheen.
I still go Young Guns 1 and 2. They stand alone, I think. I don't know which one's better because they were both so good.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, you're like, yeah, they were still really good, but this one's the best. Young Guns 1 and 2 were just fantastic movies.
Yep. The first two Dark Knight movies.
You didn't like Rises?
It was, and again, like that's another Christopher Nolan movie that I went and saw in the theater because I'm a way bigger fan. But
So are you going to see the Odyssey in the theater?
I wonder if I should.
twos.
I kind of, because we're going to be talking about it next week regardless.
Yep.
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell you what.
John
I
Wick.
will I will do my best to go see it this week. How's that? We can talk about it next week.
I'm going to try, but
Oh, not who's a bigger fan now? Obviously.
Actually, you know what? That is a litmus test.
It is a litmus test.
Which one of us
will go see
likes
the Odyssey?
Christopher Nolan enough to go see Ellen Page's disembubulated
Achilles
self? Anyway, here's a funny thing. YouTube actually got community noted because they're like, oh, we retired the dislike button to give you clearer and more effective control over your recommendations. And really, yeah, Glenn, sure, Two Towers, Return of the King.
Yeah,
Actually,
fair enough.
It's the best trilogy ever made. YouTube, and then they got community noted because they got rid of the dislike button when everybody disliked their videos.
Alberta First Nation sues Ottawa over $5 treaty annuity, argues amount stuck in 1899.
Okay, so it's really interesting because you've got Alan Adam of Athabasca Chippewa First Nations talking about how they need to get away from the $5 annuity because that was in 1899 and it didn't translate well into modernity. This is the same guy who is saying that all treaty rights need to be protected and stay exactly as they are, and Alberta separation is a big threat. The same guy who's saying the treaties need to stay in place exactly as they are is also saying we need to throw in something regarding inflation. So, like this guy is literally within a few weeks doing two different court cases saying literally the exact opposite things about the same document.
Do we got a Canada Post headline?
No, we didn't. It's not about the strike. You want headlines anytime we talk about Canada Post?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do. Canada Post paid $30.8 million in 2025. The heat's starting to get to me for bonuses, and we understand the optics. They paid their executives and managers $30.8 million in performance bonuses, base bonuses in 2025, despite reporting record losses and receiving it. This feels like CBC all over again, doesn't it?
It literally is. It's a crown corporation with no direct.
The mail carrier
oversight.
reported in April that it lost a record-breaking $1.57 billion.
Oh, that's fine. Go ahead.
The federal government also gave the company up to $673 million in May, and they paid out bonuses.
Yeah.
Canada Post posts bonuses in spite of sucking. Thank you.
It was off the cuff. It was off the cuff. Not my best.
I know. 439 guns and an antique cannon found from his home. Ex-Canada MP arrested after police seized 439 guns and an antique cannon from his home. There he is.
Mm-hmm.
Ex-Canadian MP Inky Mark has been arrested after police found a trove of guns, ammunition, and an antique cannon with thousands of dollars in cash in his home.
Yeah, apparently he had like $300,000 worth of cash, which from what I understand is fairly common for Chinese culture. But also, this guy used to be a member of parliament for a long time. I bet you could go to any long-standing member of parliament's house and find a suitcase with hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, like at any given time. But let's just, so apparently they were investigating somebody else's gun charges. They served a warrant expecting to find some handguns that were registered to that guy, and they weren't there. And so then they said, where the hell are they? And then that's when he was like, well, I sold them to this guy. So they go to take a look, and it turns out that there's a lot there. So this guy had, I guess, one or two of them had serial numbers taken off of them, and a couple of them also, it's kind of unclear, but apparently a couple of the firearms were somehow like wanted in relation to crimes. But if you're accumulating almost 500 guns, that just statistically would probably happen at some point. But like, this isn't, these aren't M16s lined up. Like, you look at this, there's at least 3 or 4 muzzleloaders that I can see, a couple Enfields. It's all over the map. But the antique cannon, you're going to seize an antique cannon. Hey, this guy was way nicer about this than he maybe should have. Could you imagine if this was the home of a crazy person? Like, this is just a gun collector, right? But yeah, he'd just be standing there with the torch. Like, you can have my cannon when you take it from my cold dead limbs, and then just drops the torch onto the charge spot at the top. This guy's just a collector, okay? And yeah, okay, so you can tell actually from the pictures of the pistols, because pistols have to be stored in, and you can't really tell what's did he turn entire rooms into gun safes? Because it kind of looks like it. But you can see the ammunition there next to the pistols. The pistols are supposed to each have their own trigger guards on them, and the ammunition being stored in a separate place. So they've got them for a lot of unlawful storage. I don't know. I'd be willing to bet. And yeah, I get the fact that I'm making a lot of excuses for this guy, but I'd be willing to bet that early on in his gun collection, he had them all done properly, and then he was just starting to get too many of them, and there was no feasible way for him to do it without building a damn new house or something. And so he just said, fuck it. I'm 86 years old. Who cares? I'm sure it'll be fine. And you know what happens, Sean, when you say, I'm sure it'll be fine?
It isn't.
It isn't.
You want to show the indoor soccer?
No, I just want to point out, all right, so we keep finding all of these weird, obscure sports that I find to be absolutely fascinating. I'm like, oh, I would love to watch that. I would love to watch that. Well, we found one that just straight up sucks. I get the fact that the people doing it are extremely talented, right? But this sport does not interest me in any way.
Yeah, I would agree. Although uber talented to do that with bikes. Like,
incredibly talented. Like, I can respect their skill level while at the same time saying I have absolutely no interest.
This game is going nowhere. Yes. I agree. I agree.
It's kind of like the WNBA.
Carney booed at the Stampede.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the booze flows at Stampede.
Please welcome the Right Honorable Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada.
Oh my God, everyone's booing.
Like, you can hear the individual person.
Clapper. Yeah.
The individual person who's clapping. Like, you're not hearing like a little bit of clapping here and there. There's one person in that stadium clapping, and you can singularly hear them.
Sticking with the Stampede, you want to show Nenshi?
Yeah, so this is Nenshi at one of his, I don't know, pancake events or whatever. And just, this is Nenshi. Quintessentially, this is him.
Well, what's not fair about that? Please tell me. That he comes to the Stampede and I say hello? Like, am I supposed to tell him to F off at a public event? Yeah, that's not how it works. Yeah. I think there's two. Please don't record. I think there's two sides. Okay, if you're recording, then I got to get to stage. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Okay. The same people who say, oh, what? It's a public event. What am I supposed to say? Tell them to F off? Do you remember how big of a deal those same people made about every picture that Pierre Poilievre has had with, like, Jeremy McKenzie?
Yes.
Absolutely. And then just brushing off Justin Trudeau with convicted child molesters and things like that. And yet when it's him, he's like, well, obviously I'm just going to take a picture with somebody in public. Yes, that's literally the whole fucking point. But you set the precedent, motherfucker. You said that it's not acceptable. And now you're being held to your own fucking rules, you fat idiot Jabba the Hutt sack of shit.
You want to show the video of the ump?
Yes. I don't know if you've ever noticed this about me, but I find it absolutely hilarious when people get hit in the nuts. So, by the way, it's 2-2 at the top of the second. See that? See that
Very
right
nice. Very nice.
there? Okay. This ump, I'm just going to show it. And, yeah. Oop. Tick ball goes over the catcher's glove. He gets hit in the junk. Now we're at the bottom of the second. Tip ball goes over the catcher's glove. Hits him right in the junk. And top of the fourth. Boom, right in the 5 hole. This guy in 2 innings got hit in the nuts 3 times. Now, Sean.
Oh, man.
I love what just happened here, but I have no idea why. Drew Weatherhead has entered the studio.
Yeah, he has. We got a couple things. You want to bring him in on the last?
I would love to
bit?
bring him in.
All right. Drew, welcome to the show.
What's happening,
Hey,
fellas? How's it
good to see
going?
ya.
Yeah, well, it's good here. I'm literally sweating from my eyelids. You can't see that, but I'm hot.
I know the feeling, man. Where are you at right now?
Long Lake, Minnesota. So Mel's
Sounds pretty
parents'
long.
cabin. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
so
one
you
of the
crossed
many.
the border already?
We dropped down for a week to come see Mel's family before we head back up into everyone's favorite province. Tuz specifically loves this province. We're going to be in Manitoba for a week, and I just know he loves the province so much. So we're going to be spending a week there.
If you pop your tooth out, you'll fit in a lot better. Drew,
How's
it's
Drew
good to
doing?
see you, man.
Good, man. Yeah, I'm down here in Alberta still, but doing the road life thing. So you got me out in the mosquito tent to run this thing.
Perfect.
Fair enough.
I had no idea that you'd put the audiobook out on Audible. I was listening to it one chapter at a time as you released it.
Uh-huh.
And that was kind of difficult to do while you're driving.
Yeah, fair enough.
And
it's actually, I think it's on Spotify, not Audible. I still got to put it out.
Or sorry, yes. You're correct. You're correct. I misspoke. It is on Spotify, and so that was awesome. I wish I'd have known sooner.
Well, it is still available there if people want to check it out. It is the full production value entire thing for free right now on Spotify.
Of Fractures of Love.
Fractures in Love, yeah, which is the first first version or first part of the epic. It's going to be a 4-book series, and it's to try to promote this next one that actually releases today, which is why Sean said, "Sure, we should get you to hop on the show," because I've got the official launch of its sequel, Fractures in Peace, that you can see right here. I don't know if my camera will focus in on it.
It looks great.
Yeah, it is the
matches
opposite
the first one.
side of the first book. So I've talked to Sean about it on his show, but for people who missed that episode, if you listened to or read the first book, it's essentially a story of 2 warring races that it plays into a lot of the psychology and human nature of stuff that we talk about on a podcast that we do anyways, but in a fictional sense. And the first view is from like a slave race that's trying to fight for freedom against their oppressors. And then actually the second one that's coming out today is from the opposite view, from what would be the oppressors, from the exact same timeline, what they saw happened during the period of the first book. So it's a really interesting take on like the dual perspective of the same situation.
I like it. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so I've got the Kindle version that's kicking off right now. That's the one I'm really trying to push today. It's only 99 cents on Audible. I'll shoot you guys a link in a sec here. But to all my Canadian fans or friends or listeners out there, they're the ones that can really push this thing, because we're on the edge of like hitting bestseller, which is really only possible for small artists like myself, authors, I should say, for the first release day, because it's just hard to stack, tens or hundreds of sales in a single day otherwise. And I think we're only like a couple dozen away from hitting bestseller right now. So, props to Sean for letting me put my voice on here for the day that it's happening. So I'll send you that link if you want. And I really appreciate anybody.
Send us a link, Drew, because what we'll do is we'll put it in the comment section, and that way people can go find it. And for sure, send it to us.
Yeah,
What do you got, Tooth?
Yeah, I just bought it.
Oh, dang. It's that easy. It's just a one-click thing, and it's the price of a small
literally
copy.
Amazon search. I just started typing fractures, and the first one was love, and then the second one was peace. And so, yeah, that's exactly how long it took to buy it.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Like I said, every singular purchase counts, and you can only buy one, or I maybe would buy 10 of them to help myself, but it's just the way it works, right? It's got to be fair, and people have got to show like there is popularity to this thing to be able to hit bestseller.
Well, I tossed. It went in YouTube and I think Facebook. I tossed in a link there where it takes you right to the book as well on Amazon. So like, what's just for us non-authors, Drew, go back over this. Today is important because if you hit how many sales or how many away from it, because if you hit that, what happens?
It just has to be the most within a category for the day that it releases, and then it claims that bestseller status, which is sort of like the gold medal for authors. If they can get that, it shows that there's something valuable there, not only to the algorithm in Amazon, which then pushes it to more people, and it sort of helps get out to other interested readers, but also just for the career of the author themselves. They can say that they've had a bestseller, which then helps promote themselves to big publishing houses or, movie deals or whatever. Having that credential is super important for that.
Have you been talking to any directors?
Not directly, actually, but there is an avenue. I'm actually trying to take this thing into the visual arts through manga and anime. And interestingly, this has been like a 6-month project that should be coming to a head in a couple weeks here, where I entered they call them one-shot competitions in Japan, which are like short stories in visual manga form. And this is a very popular event that they host twice per year. And that's why I've been waiting 6 months for the July 31st final reveal of who won this contest. And I teamed up with a really, really cool artist on Instagram. She did amazing work on this story, and I have pretty high hopes that we can win something in this. And then if you can, then that gives you the into the industry, because then you'll have editors and stuff coming up to you saying, well, we loved your story. You're the writer for this. Would you like to write something else? And I'll say, well, good news for you. I've got a lot written, and you can maybe take a look at that.
And you might get an assistant, and then you'll be like, non-fat milk.
That's right. Yeah. I specifically asked for no cream.
Yeah, exactly. It also says that you can get the paperback.
Yes, that's right.
I thought when you spoke to Sean, maybe just because it's been a little while, that the paperback wasn't coming out for a little while. Is that just because it's now, or is it coming out sooner than you thought?
Yeah, so the paperback, the release is today. The Kindle had a pre-order, but Amazon, I don't know, somebody's got to knock Jeff Bezos' head against the wall about this. You can't do pre-orders for physical copies for some reason. I'm guessing it's because they've sort of automated their print system so that they print them, and then somebody might cancel their order and they end up with like excess books or something. But you can only do pre-orders for the digital, which then allows for the release day for all of those sales to hit on the same day, which is important to try to hit that bestseller. So if you do want the physical copy, it is available today. It just goes into a different category for sales. So to hit bestseller would be harder to do for physical copies unless you had like 100 or 200 people waiting for that day to do it.
Unless you were Jill Biden. Did you hear about her book?
I mean, she's a great author, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, she flew to the top of the bestsellers list and was there for like a week.
Dang.
And then fell out. In 2 weeks, she was gone. Yeah. Well,
this is 709 pages.
It's a very long one. Yeah, they're about 160,000 words a piece. I was doing the math in my head the other day, and by the time, because I know it's a 4-book series. Every book has 35 chapters, and each chapter is between 35 to 4,500 words. I've got it all mapped out in that way. And that means that by the time the full 4-book series is available, the entire epic will be over 500,000 words in this thing. So it's like expansive. This is like Tolkienian size.
You're going full George R. R. Martin on this. I like
Yeah,
it.
except I'm going to finish it.
That's exactly where I was going with that. So you, me, same page. So for perspective, if I remember correctly, and I might be wrong about this, but I seem to remember that Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the first one, was about 60,000 words or something.
Yeah, that's pretty common for a novel. Even my editor was like, dude, this is a really, really long manuscript. People might not want to read it because it's so long. I'm like, well, I mean, they can make their mind up if they want. You know, you've got a fish bowl or a goldfish attention span for anything these days. So just anybody that'll pick up a book is already kind of in a niche category now, who people that don't get all of their information through Reels and TikTok. But if you want to get into it, I feel like I wrote it in a way that it's compelling to get to the next chapter, which can take as long as you need to get to the end.
Excellent. And you're going to do the audiobook for this one as well again?
I am presently recording it. I just did chapter 3 yesterday. I'm trying to get 1 or 2 chapters done a day.
Nice.
I'm doing them Sean style on the road. So I set up this whole podcast studio in my SUV and sweat my balls off for about 1 or 2 hours a day until it gets too hot to continue. And then I do all the editing myself. It takes me about 200 hours to put these things together. That's how much the first one took. It's about 40 hours plus of recording, and then like another 150-ish hours of editing and mastering and getting it all. Like I do like proprietary music for it. I commission musical composers to write one-off songs to put in the background. I do all the sound effects. Everything is read in character. Like it's a pretty meaningful production.
Well, I was gonna say, if you haven't checked it out on Spotify, I was saying to Drew, because I read half of it, and then he sent me, "Hey, it's on Spotify." I'm like, "Oh, all right." I don't know why in my brain I thought it would just be Drew reading the book to me, but the voiceovers and everything that you've done, I thought were really talented. Now, you were telling me on the podcast the first half maybe not so much, but what I started reading, it only gets better and better. So I assume that in the second book, you're going to have all the legwork done on voices, and you're going to be right into it right from the start.
Yeah, I feel like I am. Like what I did in preparation to start the second recording, or the book for the second book's recording, is I re-listened through the entire first book so I could get into like the flow and the pacing and the character voices and stuff. There's different characters in this one, but I feel like I hit the ground running a little more at the first chapter here, whereas in the first recording, or the first book's recording, it took me about 10 chapters before I felt like I was in the groove.
Well, I mean, a lot of the more prominent audiobook authors will reuse the same voice in different books, right? So the voice they use for this guy is exactly the same as the voice they use for another guy in another book. There's this one guy that just happens to narrate a lot of books that I like, Simon Vance. And so it's interesting. Anytime you open up an audiobook, you kind of feel like you're just sitting down with somebody, like with an old friend kind of thing.
100%.
Well,
that's how people feel about podcasts too, right?
Yeah.
They listen to you for so many hours. They're like, I know this guy, even though I've never met him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So for Mashers,
yeah,
in the comments, there's I posted the first link and Drew gave me the correct one. Although the other one takes you to, I think it was in euros or something. Regardless, doesn't matter. For 99 cents, you could bump Drew to bestseller list today. And today, Fractures in Peace, go buy a copy, 99 cents, and you can push not only a podcast guest, but a mashup guest into a bestseller and a friend. I agree, Toos. I agree with that. And an Albertan. Hey?
And an Albertan. You know what? And it's 99 cents.
Yeah, no one will miss those 99 cents. You'll never think about it an hour from now.
Money has never been more useless in this country. I can't think of a better way to spend it.
I appreciate it, guys.
Now, Drew, do you want to hang out for a few, or do you got to go?
Yeah. What are you talking about? You got a little bit of time left here.
Well, we got a few minutes left. We got a few headlines. Okay, let's get to Regina. Okay, so in Saskatchewan, a BC man states he was detained by the RCMP for a Regina event he tried to organize on Facebook. The event was supposed to be a pork barbecue outside a new mosque in Regina's downtown, which had recently made national headlines for their outdoor call to prayer. The Facebook event went viral, and the National Council of Canadian Muslims called on leaders to denounce this event and to acknowledge that this form of Islamophobic intimidation is dangerous, and the barbecue never took place, on top of the guy being detained for the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, as long as they made sure that the pork was halal, I don't see what the problem is. Just tell them it's halal bacon.
I mean, technically you can, because halal just means how it got killed. So technically you
Right.
could have halal pork.
There you go. You're not lying.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. Obviously the organization said, "Oh, Islamophobia," but you've got a situation where this giant call to prayer. I don't know if you saw any clips of it or anything, Drew, but it was pretty stinking loud.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, so the people who are kind of getting in your face about their thing that you're not into are now upset when the other people who are getting in your face about their thing that you're not into kind of seems like a double standard to me.
Yeah, I think the term is cry bully, right? They do something to piss you
Yes.
off, then get mad when you do something to react. I got to feel for the pigs of the world. Like, they must feel like, what did we ever do that people hate
like,
us so much? Like,
aren't
why
I
are we
pretty
insulting
enough
for existing?
Like, this is my whole point, is to become pork chops and bacon, and you don't love me.
They do a good job, in my opinion. I'm a big bacon fan. I can go ham all day.
Oh, it's just I find it baffling. Like, that's the terrorism, the oppression of women, all that stuff aside, by far the most baffling part of Islam is their adherence to not eating bacon. Like, I don't care how good your afterlife is. Yeah, why? Like, there's just no reasonable trade-off. You cannot pitch me something good enough for me to abscond from an entire lifetime of bacon.
Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the biggest Muslim philosopher. I think they get 70-something virgins after they die for God or something. Isn't that a thing?
Yeah, they get 77 virgins,
something like that.
Which is
72. Sure.
Stupid.
So,
because even with that, you don't want.
Welcome to the show, Drew, where Drew talks
72,
over you the entire time.
You want 72 biker chicks with a dark past.
Yeah.
72 virgins is not selling it. I'm sorry.
No, that's trauma for everybody. Well, here's the thing. What if they updated this? Look, it's the year of our Lord 2026. We can update things to sort of match the culture a little bit. What if instead of 72, or as well, or you get to choose, you can have your 72 virgins and deal with all the drama that comes with that, or you could eat pork the rest of your afterlife. That might actually, like, we've been missing out on this. Everybody loves it so much. I'm not allowed right now, but I could be allowed then. Maybe that might actually boost their numbers. What do you think?
Well, I mean, that would be good. I think, like, if you're updating the whole 72 virgins thing, be like, look, you can have 72 Sydney Sweeneys.
Wait, is she an A-list actor? I forget.
Well played.
Foreign migrant living illegally in Canada eligible for Ontario Welfare Tribunal rules. Ontario must pay social assistance benefits to a foreign migrant living illegally in Canada. A tribunal has ruled in a case revealing that welfare intake workers did not conduct an immigration check of the applicant to avoid jeopardizing his ability to remain in Canada. The Ontario Social Benefits Tribunal heard an appeal by the man who declared he had come to Canada in 1997 on a temporary work permit. Although his permit expired after 4 years, he never left. He was able to support himself by working cash jobs until 2023, when he entered the homeless shelter, and or as he told the tribunal.
Yeah, I love, my favorite part of that, by the way, was we can't look into this, because if we look into this, we're going to have to throw him out of the country.
That would be unfair. He's only been here illegally for 25 years, the quarter of a century. You give him a little bit of slack here, guys.
No, he was busy.
He was getting around to it. Man, this blows my mind. Now, we could talk all day about whatever country is doing whatever with their immigrant problems, illegal, especially ones. People talk about ICE down south. And, like, as a person who sort of globetrots now, especially going over across into Japan, where I bought a house last year, we are very, very conscious of the exact date we have to get the hell out of their country. And we're very, very cognizant that it's not our country and we shouldn't be there except for the time that we're allowed to be there. I cannot comprehend the type of psychology that permits you to stay even a day longer, let alone years, and just expect that it's okay. And then to cry victim when somebody calls you on it is absolutely mind-bafflingly neurotic.
And why isn't he being like, so he worked cash jobs this whole time. Why isn't he being nailed to the fucking wall for income tax evasion?
Sure. Yeah, CRA, what are you up to?
Probably the most popular video of the week is the tourist who was seriously injured after a Yellowstone bison launched him 8 feet in the air. This thing caught airtime everywhere.
Have you seen this yet, Drew?
I have. Yeah, I've seen multiple memes of it too.
Who hasn't seen this yet?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Show
that's kind of
you should show the video to us. I think down
I'm
in the
gonna show
article it's
video,
got
but
it.
I love that. Like, I want to frame that picture.
Yeah. People have painted it. I've seen somebody that oil painted it, and it looks like it was like an old-fashioned 1960s one you'd hang on your wall at Christmas because he's like in overalls, and it looks like timeless. It's hilarious.
It absolutely is. We'll skip ahead a little bit. Here's him trying to get away from the bison. He's trying to put trees and stuff in between them, and the bison's chasing him around. And here, oh, boom.
Oh.
Like, the problem with the bison is that no matter what it is you try and put between him and you, he's going to be able to move it.
Mhm.
Like, this is why having a fat friend is important in life.
You don't have to
If
run
you're gonna go to
faster than the
Yellowstone-
bison, just faster than your friend.
If you're going to go to Yellowstone, go
Would you
with-
buy
oh,
those shoes?
Perfect.
That's a good one.
I hadn't seen that one.
For the listener, it's Air Bisons. It's a shoe. Anyways,
It's an Air Jordan, except it's got him
Yes, correct,
flying
correct.
through the air rather than the classic Jordan dunk.
That's phenomenal. Yeah, I got to give that guy props, though. He had pretty good form on the flip. Like, that was a pretty perfect pancake flip to end up on his side. If he had landed 90 degrees either direction from there, it would be a death. But I guess he kind of just hurt his hip.
Which, at his age, it probably is.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris arrived in Yellowstone.
I don't know. People had way too much fun with it. Hope the guy's all right, obviously, but
Did you read the story about it? Because I heard from his point of view, there's somebody, he put a statement out after he was conscious in the hospital saying, like, there was another person with him. It was his grandson that was running as well. And he told the grandson to go hide over in the bushes while he would distract him. So he was actively trying to get the bison's attention to keep him away from his grandson that was like curled up in a ball some 20 feet away.
Well, he did a good job.
He did.
Yeah, well then our hats off to him because I mean
Absolutely.
he took it like a champ.
Yeah, it's a good meme and a good story.
Yeah. All right, the Trump slap. Husband of Canadian accused of slapping pro-Trump teen says they're being doxxed by rightists.
I love this
those
one.
Evil rightists.
This is my favorite one of the week so far. I've been following this for a day or two. It's been going crazy. And it's exactly what I was just talking about. She is an illegal alien in that country. She's a Canadian who overstayed her visa like 4 years ago. Like this is not like, whoops, I missed it by a day or a week or a month, which is impossible to do if you're paying attention.
Yeah, or
She
I got
didn't
trapped in a
plan.
porta potty looking for my Mountain Dew bottle and I couldn't get on the plane in time.
Yeah, she legally, literally shouldn't be there, and she's assaulting the citizens of that country and expecting that their deportation police aren't going to do something about it. Like, she's crying. Well, it's her boyfriend that's crying foul, right? He's the American, and he's like putting this GoFundMe together. Please help my wife. ICE has her. I don't know what they're going to do with. You know exactly what they're going to do with her. They're going to send her back to Canada, or since she assaulted a minor, they might put her in jail first. And guess what? That's the law of the land that you've lived in your whole life. It shouldn't be surprising. It's that cry bully thing again.
Absolutely. And so that's for those of you who want to see it. Here's the video real quick.
Oop.
Her just slapping this young kid for the crime of wearing something America 250. Celebrating.
This was on the 250 too, wasn't it?
It was the day before. It was July 3rd.
Okay. So everybody's wearing that stuff down there. I was down there like a month before it happened, and everywhere, like literally the light up signs over the highway that tell you to slow down were saying like, keep it below 250, save it for the 4th. Like everything is 250 down there. So everybody a day before it would be wearing something like that. I think she also had some shorts that said ice on them. So I don't know, but either way, like these are political opinions that you're just assaulting a kid about.
Which is exactly like, just keep in mind that this is exactly what you would think of Canadian culture, especially as somebody now who's just, well, like you said, globetrotting. This is just the most quintessentially Canadian story. You go somewhere else, you don't respect the local customs, you break the law, you assault people because of their political views, and then you have the audacity, the motherfucking audacity to be inexplicably confused when you're facing consequences of it.
It's the clinical definition of projection. Like she attacked somebody, a kid in this case, wearing a word on her butt that applied to the person attacking her. She's being deported by ICE as she should have before she attacked this kid. And she's like, she saw that and got mad about it. It's like her own wrongdoing that she's getting mad about. This is clinical.
And why was she looking at a minor's butt?
Hey, here's a question. Maybe you'll know as hockey guys. Do you think the kid who got slapped would have been able to protect herself if she went elbows up?
That is a very good possibility. I mean,
It seems to be like we seem to think it protects us up here if you go elbows up against Americans. Do Americans get the same thing?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing is, well, you probably, if you were just down there a month ago, know this, they don't think about us nearly as often as we think about them.
No, they don't think about us at all. They literally can't even point us out on a map. You say the word province and they look at you like you just said something in Spanish.
Weather. You want to show the flash flooding?
Yeah, well, I mean, the one in particular. This is you listening and not watching. The first time that something as exciting has happened in the Edmonton Elk Stadium in years. So there was all this flash flooding in Edmonton and a whole bunch of just water was everywhere, all over the place. This was a road.
Wow. I love that the channel that is reporting on this is called YEG Wave. It's just too perfect.
That is perfect. So, yeah, it's kind of like Edmonton's answer to Just Bins. I don't know if you've seen anything from Just Bins, but they basically become the news source for Regina.
Okay.
Just this local bin company, you get when you're doing renos or whatever else, you get that big bin. And when all the media censorship bills came through and you couldn't get anything on Facebook or whatever else from news agencies, they just started putting up what was happening around town. And then because they're not a news agency, they're just a garbage company, they were able to do it. And so they were just in this blue ocean. I mean, it's not their business model, but I'm sure that they've gotten a lot of work because of the notoriety over the years.
I would think so. Okay, happy news. You want to play the song?
Yeah. So, I know that we give the politicians of the world a really hard time about a lot of stuff. And so here's the thing, though, is that sometimes they do stuff that's worth mentioning. And these ladies wrote a song just to kind of commemorate the work that some of them are doing.
We have written a song about world leaders.
World leaders.
We don't understand why everybody hates them so much.
Why do you hate them?
Why?
Why?
They have a really hard job.
Very hard.
The burden of the world is upon their shoulders.
All upon their shoulders.
And we believe that just for once we should sing them a song to praise their efforts.
So many efforts.
Efforts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Cunts. I thought that was really good.
That was really good. That's going to change people's perspectives.
I really think it is.
We've done a good job.
So there.
I got to find that on Spotify and put it on my playlist.
Oh man. Okay. Community notes. Obviously we heard about the event happening in Regina Beach coming up end of the month. And for next week, we'll have all the links from Willie, because I assume he'll send them here at some point. Regardless, it's Regina Beach, July 31st to August 2nd, if I remember correct.
Just
correct,
follow
Tews?
the influx of vehicles.
Yeah, 100%. And that's free all weekend long. What else you got on community notes, Tews?
What? Oh,
I'm literally
leave you-
sweating from my eyelids right now. When Drew's like, yeah, I go in for a couple hours and see how I do. I'm at like an hour and 40. Well, I am an hour and 49 minutes of this show, which means it's literally been 2 hours where the AC is not running, and I am dying a slow death here.
Well,
so
in
another
that
hour,
case,
Goose?
I'll
You
speak
want to keep
extra.
going?
Yeah. Let's talk about all kinds of other stuff.
Let's just go till he drops. I'm curious.
What, yeah, Mashup 217. Sean passed out. It was interesting.
It was awesome. Casey came in and started slapping him. Okay, Landon Johnston, Ward 14 counselor in Calgary, podcast guest. He is doing what he calls Loggers with Landon on July 22nd. It's at Dixon's Public House in Midnapore from 6 to 9. And there's an event link, so you can RSVP. Apparently, you can just show up anyway, but it's Loggers with Landon. And so you can go there and talk about whatever ails you. And Landon, if you're listening, you can use that joke. It's free.
I'm going to bring it up again because it is today. Ooh, maybe I'm not. Here we go.
Whatever ails you?
No, fractures in peace. All right. Do an Albertan, a Canadian, do an Albertan world traveler with a place in Japan now a favor. Knock him up to bestseller. That'd be something.
Why are you looking at it in Italian Amazon?
I don't know.
Yeah, make sure it's got a CA on the end. It should redirect you because I don't think you can buy outside of your geography. So any Canadians that have an Amazon access should just be able to do like Tews did, like one click and you got it. And even if you don't read Kindle and you want to get the physical copy, if you can just do 99 cents of the Kindle for today, it's kind of like, flicking a coin into a busker's guitar case along the way. It really, really does help.
I mean, you don't got to sell me. I've already bought it.
Yeah, I've sold you. I appreciate it.
Well, to everyone
happy
listening,
to help, and I hope it's as successful as I hope it's wildly successful.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, can you imagine if Drew becomes this like superstar in Japan? He gets like a what do you call it?
Basically, the Tom Waits song.
Big in Japan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
cool.
it's a difficult thing. Like I tried writing a book about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit more. It was like a really sarcastic, tongue-in-cheek zombie novel about these people that just sort of lived on an island and, society had collapsed around them. Nobody ever came looking for them. I started thinking about it. I went to the Canary Islands once back in the day, and there was all these, like the Aboriginal people of the Canary Islands were slaves that were caught in North Africa, brought out to fish tuna, and then it's a lot easier to catch them on small islands than it is on the plains of Africa. And so they would just drop them off there so that they can grab them real easy when they needed more hands to help out with the tuna fishing. But then after the fall of Rome, everybody forgot that the islands existed and nobody ever went back for them. And so then they had to live there for like 1,000 years before anybody else was like, oh, hey, there's an island there and there's people on it. And so anyhow, got me thinking like, what would happen if zombies just collapsed the world and there was an island full of people? And it was.
How many pages did you get into it?
Well, here's the thing. I've got about 35,000 words written, and it is just, there's like, this part's awesome and that's part's awesome, but it's just a jumbled mess.
I would like for you right now to pull up that manuscript and start reading it verbatim until Sean passes out. He's so close. I can see it in his eyes.
Oh, shoot,
I'm literally,
find it.
I'm sweating from my eyelids right now, you jackasses. I just want to thank everybody for coming out before I pass out in this sweat box. This is how it's going to be for the next little bit. Although all the interviews I've been doing have been in person to this point since we left, which has been a ton of fun. I'd wanted to get in touch with Just Bins. I couldn't seem to figure it out, which probably wasn't that hard. although being on the road and driving as much as we did to start has been an interesting. No, it's been interesting to try and run a podcast while driving as much and setting up camp. I'm speaking to a choir here with Drew, but
No,
it's
I actually recognize the difficulty. I have nothing but respect for it because it is really rough.
yeah. Well, it's a fun rough though, right? Like I mean,
no, it's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Yeah, it's sweet. Crazy though. So we go to Cypress Hills, 0 mosquitoes. It was just
Yeah, you were
wild to
telling
me.
me that. That's like an anomaly right now in Canada.
I walked around. It's the twos. What did you say? It's the highest point east side of the Rockies until Labrador, correct?
Between Alberta and Spain, it's the highest point is Labrador. That one singular mountain in Labrador is higher. This is the highest elevation, and the second highest elevation is Cypress Hills in Saskatchewan.
And so nobody
wild.
thinks that, and you go to it, and there's no mosquitoes. Like I just walked around, and I was just like, this is unbelievable. Beautiful campground, like everything. It was wonderful. And then we came back down, and after we got back down, it's just been nothing but mosquitoes. So you're just like, this is something. Jamie was trying to tell me it ain't camping without mosquitoes. I'm like, I'll take camping without mosquitoes any day of the
right.
week. Yeah.
They're brutal, especially when the sun goes down. They just get mean and they just start sucking right away. You just get covered in them.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Twos, are you finding this thing, or can I wrap this show up?
No. Give me a minute here. I wonder if it's on my.
Give me a minute. I'm
Google.
losing.
I'll give you 25.
Yeah.
He's not going to make it. Somebody needs to like ambulance on prep. Can we like what's the number down where you're at?
It's 911.
Yeah. Big clearly
you're gonna need it.
Oh man. How long are you in Alberta for, Drew?
We're planning on heading back to Japan in September. We haven't got the exact date yet, but I've got another big project I'm announcing tomorrow. I actually at first announced on your show a year ago. Yeah, I'm going to finally publicly release the Japanese jiu-jitsu camp that I'm going to be doing in October there, where I'm going to be taking 10 people, just 10 this time, and tour them around Japan for 10 days, going to different gyms, going to shrines, going to sumo shows, the Samurai Museum, the Kodokan, taking them to onsens and eating all the ramen and udon they can manage. It's going to be phenomenal. And that gets officially announced tomorrow. And first 10 people in, they're going to be the ones.
And so how do they get a hold of you?
There's a website. I could probably toss you the website in the comments here if you want to go check it out. It is actually live right now.
We got time because Twos is trying to scan his book or trying to find
I'm
it
going
right now.
through it, and I'm just like, where do I even? This is just.
That's funny.
Well, I mean, it's like there's the introduction chapter of this one guy, Joss. He's going through like this abandoned town, and so he's just saying, clear out any zombies I can dispatch. That goes double for sandbaggers. Find and check the town well. Work back for a second time. Eat a snack. Not too much, though. Maybe start off with a smaller stack. Yeah, small stack now, then explore perfectly good yet inconceivably abandoned town with a freaking wall around it. Then another snack. Even though he was scared, he was justifiably excited. There were less opportunities to turn over stones and dig up pre-outbreak anything every day. The only silver lining was that there also seemed to be fewer zombies every day, or at least as near as we could tell without doing a census. Of course, it would be impractical and juvenile to do something like that, but it didn't stop him from thinking about it as he wandered up streets, darting between doorways and pausing at corners. Pardon me, sir. I have a few questions if you don't mind. Thanks. I'll take that grunt as approval. How many former members or former persons in your household? Wonderful. And how many of them are over 200 years old? Excellent. Now, can I just go ahead and check NA under occupation? How about disabilities? We don't have a box for that, so I'll put it under other.
Why did
moderately dead? Got it.
Why didn't you ever? Yeah, I agree. Why didn't you finish this? You know what, Twos? You know what you should you should do for the rest of the year? You should finish your book. And then
the rest of the podcast. We're not going to leave until you're done.
No, BS. We are leaving, but you should finish it because now I'm kind of curious because I'm like I could just feel how Twos' brain writes a book. I'm like, I spent too much time with this guy. I'm like, I'd actually find it quite clever. I'm sure of it.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun. It sounds like a script. Like this is something I could see Simon Pegg doing. You got red on you, like that kind of thing.
Well, what it kind of ended up being was just a goofy and sarcastic version of 28 Years Later.
Okay,
Like
sure.
when that came out, I was like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!"
Well, you got the goofy aspect. You just got to change it that little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, it's interesting that this movie came out that just really mirrors everything that happened in this disordered, rambling mess of a proto novel.
I did shoot that link in there if you want to check out the website for the jiu-jitsu camp. It does go live tomorrow for the, I don't know, handful of people that are interested in jiu-jitsu in Japan on your show. You got first look if they throw that link in.
And sorry, I've been working through this a little bit, so I wasn't listening as well as I should have, and I apologize for that.
Yeah,
I just put it in the chat for Mashup folks, and I'll bring it up on the comments. There it is on the bottom.
Beauty. Yeah, so it's a 10-day camp between October 22nd and 31st, where you're going to fly into Haneda Airport in Tokyo. We're going to spend 3 days in Tokyo, then take you by bullet train to Toyama, to my stomping grounds on the other side of the Sea of Japan there. And then from there, after 3 days of training and checking cool things out, we're going to go down to Kobe, which is just south of Osaka.
The
and
steak
it's known
place.
for Kobe beef, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll hang out there. We've got some cool training and exploring to do there. And then we're going to shoot you back to Tokyo on day 10. And that's a wrap for the first one. And I plan on doing these twice a year from now on. But this will be the official launch one, which will be pretty cool. I spent a lot of time making sure the itinerary is going to be like super, super cool. Not just for jiu-jitsu guys, but just for people in general. This is going to be like a trip of a lifetime.
Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. From what I understand, you're very capable. But is it maybe just a touch cocky of you to go to the Orient and presume to teach people martial arts?
Yeah, I'm going to show them how to do it right, and they're going to love me for it, I'm sure.
Okay, I'm done, you jackasses. Drew, thanks for hopping on. Twos as always. Folks, we're here every Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Before I pass out, appreciate everybody being here.
Here's another one.
What? What?
She cleared her throat in 3 measured grunts. He gave her an unconvincing version of a confused look. Save us both the trouble and take that knife out now, she told him flatly. He looked at her again with apparent confusion, this time hopefully selling it a bit more. Giving the appearance of not thinking straight was a lot easier than it ought to have been because her boobs looked like they'd get in the way if she yawned, and she smelled absolutely wondrous.
She sounds A-list.
Okay, so if you want to hear Twos read more of his book, Twos is going to finish said book, and then he's going to put it on Spotify like Drew, and you're going to listen to the entire thing. Until then,
I do
remember,
not have time to revisit this thing, but it's a disaster.
Drew's got his book released today. Go buy a 99-cent Kindle copy, Fractures in Peace. Folks, Mashers, thanks for being here. Twos, as always. Drew, thanks for coming in, and we'll catch up to you next week.
The point I was making with this is that for you to just put it all together cohesively is incredibly impressive, and my hat's off to you. Well done.
I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup. Welcome to the Mashup.